What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another video. This right here is the Discovery Optics XED, or Extreme Extra Low Dispersion 6 to 36 by 56 PRS rifle scope. And we're still in Shanghai, China, and I figured, since we're here, why not reach out to Discovery Optics? They're one of our affiliates, see if they wanted to work on a video with us. And while we don't have all the tools that we need as we do back home to shoot the kind of videos that we usually shoot here abroad, we do have this really cool Vivo X200 Ultra, which I just picked up, and it seems to be really great for photos. So I wanted to kind of make this video to test out and have a look at the optic itself and seeing how that might fit into our PRS system that we're building in the studio in about 3 weeks' time, and also a great way to test out whether this new Chinese phone of mine is also great at video recording. So let me know what you think of the video down below. That being said, thank you so much to Discovery for collaborating with us on this. We'll leave a link to their website as well as our coupon code down below, so you can go ahead and use that to save yourself 10% off should you want to pick up the XED or any of their other products. They do make some good stuff, and we have some LPVOs and other optics from them already back home that we're really happy with. So this is a great opportunity to check this out and see how good this is. That being said, if you do use our coupon code and link down below, it won't cost you anything extra, but it does help to support the channel since it is an affiliate link. So thank you so much in advance for that. If you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below and come and join our Discord to continue the conversation after the video's over. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. Now, again, this is going to be fairly basic for a couple of reasons. One, like I said, we don't have all the equipment here that we do back home. And two, kind of shooting one-handed, so you'll have to bear with me. But yeah, I want to show you what you get with the optic here and talk about maybe a couple of the features with most of the features and most of the tech talk reserved for the full video that we'll do for this once we get back home. So we've got a little QC card here. This is nice to see. It's essentially all the checks that they do at the factory before they ship everything out. So great to see a company taking quality control seriously. We'll move this over here so it's just a little bit easier within reach for me. We've got another little card here. So that's great. Pause the video if you want to read that. And then we've got a nice little pamphlet as well here. So this is going to show you some information about your optic and reticle and all that stuff and some basic care instructions there. And you get a little chamois cloth as well. It's important that you know how to use these. I know that sounds funny, but I'll talk about that in a little bit because I have a feeling there's another cleaning tool included in there as well. So yeah, it's nice that you get that here. Let's go ahead and finally look at this. So this is actually kind of cool. I really like that they include this. This is essentially a spec sheet card. Now you'll see just Discovery on the other side, but this is going to be different obviously for every optic that you order, and it'll give you some idea as to what the specifications are. Now, of course, if you're like me, you've probably already religiously read the website before you made your order. But if you didn't, or you want some more information, it's right here for you as well. So it's nice that they include that. All right, some really nice foam here that's going to keep everything protected. It's great. As I mentioned in previous optic videos that we've done here, it's great to see when companies are taking presentation and protection seriously. So it's nice to see that here as well. Go ahead and put that aside. And one of the other things that I said, if you have watched some of the other videos that we've done here on CO, is that from stuff that comes from China, not only have I been seeing like a really, really big resurgence of quality from a lot of these companies, but they also give you a lot of the stuff that you need, if not all of the stuff that you need when you buy the item to use the item from the box on the first day. So a little bit like the Vivo X200 Ultra that I'm using to film this video, I got a nice charger, a nice cable, a nice case with it. Like everything that I needed was just in the box. And that's the case here too. We have got quite a few things. So let's go ahead and start with this. Now this, as I again mentioned in one of my previous videos, is going to be a huge expense for a lot of people that are buying scopes in North America. The reason for that is because scope rings are not cheap, especially if you're getting the one-piece mounts, and these are included with your optic here. So I can't say that that is going to be the case for every single optic that you buy, even from Discovery Opt or any other company, but in this particular case, they are included, so that's really nice. And if you're curious if they're included with your optic, do make sure to check the website because they will let you know there. So that's great that they include that. It helps to minimize expense, and it basically allows you to just take this thing out to the range the moment that you get it, which is really nice. Moving forward here, we've got a little Allen key there, so that's going to be for your zero stop adjustment. We'll put that off to the side. Nothing too crazy there, but it's nice that they include that. And right here, we've got a little sunshade. Now this, ooh, that feels nice. It's all metal. So that is great for shooting sort of into the sun or in the general vicinity of the sun so that you're not getting God rays in your face. This is actually something that I didn't know was included with this kit, with this optic, but I'm actually really glad that it is because I've wanted to buy one of these for a while from Discovery. I thought that this was actually included in one of the other optics that I purchased. It wasn't. These are about 10 bucks, I believe, Canadian on the website. Very, very well worth the price. This is all metal too. I thought it was plastic. It's metal. That's great. And this is going to help you to level your optics. So that is really, really nice, especially if you're at the range in a pinch. You want to make sure that your optic is nice and straight on your rings. That's a great way to do it. It's great that they include that. Now, one of the things, I think it's in here. Yep, there we go. So one of the things that I mentioned is it's great that they include a cloth for cleaning your lenses, but you can actually damage your lenses. Now, this goes for optics, this goes for photography or videography lenses. So if you have a DSLR, for example, a mirrorless camera, anything with glass on it, and you want to clean it up, you always want to make sure that you're using something like this and or a little blower. Now you can, these are pretty cheap. They're pretty easily available on websites like Amazon, Taobao, Jingdong, all that. But yeah, you want to be using something like this first and or a blower, which is also a good idea, before you use any cloth, because essentially you're taking the dirt off of your lens as opposed to rubbing it into the lens. So you're avoiding damaging any particular coatings that might be on there or the glass itself, God forbid. And with something that is going to cost you, how much this costs you, or especially if you're buying a lens like a cine lens, which can be anywhere from $1,000 to like $50,000. Yeah, you're definitely going to want to take care of it properly, and that goes for optics as well. I don't think there's anything actually else in here, just to make sure. So let's go ahead and take this out. Now again, folks, do forgive me. This is all one-handed, giggity. So we're going to do our best to work with this best way that we can. First thing that I noticed is that we do have some nice lens caps included. So that's both the front and the back. So that's great. And my Lord, this thing, guys, this thing is heavy. Okay, this is not a joke. Now, if you have a PRS rifle or you're shooting long distance, you're doing like king of 2 mile stuff, and like maybe you're even just shooting like 600, 700, 800 meters, 1,000 meters, something like that. This is going to be great for that, especially if you are shooting a long action or a larger caliber. And the reason for that is because you're going to have a lot of recoil, and the extra weight is going to help with recoil mitigation, but it's also going to serve as a sort of a pseudo damper to damp some of those movements, some of those micro adjustments that you make even when you're prone. The weight really does help you a lot, guys. Trust me. We did a video, my buddy Max and I, who's also my camera guy, who unfortunately I couldn't have join me on this trip. That would have been great. But next time, Max, next time. But yeah, it would have been really nice to have something this heavy on an or rather on a rifle like Max's cross rifle, which is just super, super light. Now, of course, that thing is not super built for PRS. It's meant to be a light rifle, but the heavier the optic, the heavier the gun in general, the better it's going to be. Obviously not that great for transportation, but it is going to be great for PRS and long distance shooting because it'll help them to dampen some of that recoil, absorb some of that recoil, and help you become a little bit more accurate by dampening some of those micro adjustments that you make. Okay, back to the optic. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here so we can see what we're looking at. Now, as I mentioned, this is a 6-36. So if we look over here on the zoom ring, on the power ring, which has a really nice knurled finish. Mind you, this is all metal too. We've got an included throw lever there, 36 on the other side. Really, really nice. As I mentioned before, we have our lens caps here. These are nice spring-loaded lens caps. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just pop this open and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's nice. Beautiful. So we've got some lens caps included, which is great. You usually have to buy those separately. The turrets themselves feel really big and really solid. You've got a little indent here for putting in a coin if you want to open this up. Now, generally speaking, from my experience, you can take these out by hand if they're not too tight. You can use a coin to untighten or tighten as you need, but you can take the turret caps here off. That is to say, they're exposed turrets, but you can take these off to recenter them if you want to recenter your zero. If you do actually want to use a zero stop, that is included inside, but you are going to need the included Allen key to adjust the zero stop. So that's quite nice. You have that adjustment on both the elevation and the windage turret. So that's great. Let's go ahead and have a look before we get into the tactility of these at some of the other stuff here. Let me see if I can actually turn this around. Put this in here maybe so you guys can see what this looks like. This is crazy. So this is the parallax adjustment. And oh my God. So another knurled finish here. Everything is knurled, right? All these little bumps and everything adds tactility, adds grip. So whether you're wearing gloves or not, you do have that nice grip there. So we start at 40. We can kind of get the camera to focus here. And then we go all the way through 45, 50. We get 100 there. Or up to, what is that, 200, 300, 500, and infinity. So there we go. So we're going to go ahead and leave that at 100 for now, right about there. Now, obviously, you're going to want to adjust this when you're out shooting, because on any scope, not just this one, right, you're not going to completely depend on your parallax adjustment. You're going to want to look through your ocular lens, look at your target, and make fine adjustments, but you're going to be able to make really fine adjustments with that, which is great. Now, we do also have, let me turn this around a little bit here. There we go. We'll zoom in for you one more time here so we can get a closer look at the illumination ring. So we have a little door here. This is on a little thread, so you can open this up and you're going to have a 2032 battery that'll go in there. Now, I don't think that they're included here. They're very cheap. You can get them anywhere. And we have a total of what looks like 6 illumination settings with an off in between. So that's quite nice. Not 100% sure yet if these are daylight bright. I did watch some videos and it appeared that it might not be daylight bright based on the opinions of a few guys that have already reviewed these, but we'll have our own opinion once we take this out to the range. So let's go ahead and get a little bit closer here. Again, I love that knurled finish there. That just feels really nice on the hand. We have nice big white numbers here. That's going to be great for a blind guy like me to be able to see that very easily. Let's get a little bit closer here. We'll zoom out a little bit now since we're really close. And let's hear what these turrets sound like, okay? Okay, so good news and bad news. The good news is they feel great. They sound great. There's a lot of tactility there. The bad news is that there's a tiny little bit of slop in between. And see if we can zoom in a little bit there. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this. It's probably not enough to see on the camera. But there's definitely a tiny little bit of movement in between the clicks there. Now, when you're going through quickly, even one by one, that feels great. The adjustment is it's very precise. It feels really nice. The issue is that there is some noticeable spacing in between. There's a little bit of slop. Now you can tighten this up on the top a little bit here. Again, I'll zoom in for you guys so you can see what that looks like. You can get a little coin or something like that. You can even adjust this by hand. And yeah, that'll tighten up the entire turret. It'll kind of push it down a little bit and make it a little bit tighter so that when you're doing your adjustments, it feels a little better. And this sentiment has been echoed by a lot of guys that have reviewed this specific optic. So I can confirm that that is the case with the turrets here. But if you tighten this up on the top a little bit, you really shouldn't have too much of an issue. And especially since if you are, basically dialed in to your zero, especially when you're using the zero stop and you're not fiddling around with the turrets too much, shouldn't be an issue at all. So let's go ahead and see what the other one sounds like here. This is going to be our windage turret. So get a little bit closer with the microphone here again. Okay, so slightly better news. So the windage turret does feel and sound a lot more tactile. However, there is still that tiny little bit of slop in between. Again, it's not a lot. I'd say maybe it's about, I don't know, a quarter to half a millimeter rather. So it's not a lot, but it's definitely something that's noticeable. But again, tighten up those caps on the top and you should be good. So that is really going to do it. I mean, there's not too much to look at here, especially one-handed, but I think we've gone over everything. We've gone over the turrets here. We've gone over the parallax. We touched a little bit on the illumination. And what else do we have here? Maybe we can get a closer look at the power ring here. So again, 6 to 36, 6 on the low end, 36 on the high end, and this it's falling in to the box, so we'll have to take this out again. Not the best way to deal with this, but this definitely feels really, really tight. Yeah, it feels very tight, but it does feel very, very smooth. So for now, that's going to have to do it. Overall, very happy with this. Everything feels really nice, very premium. Everything is metal, feels great. The only thing that I would have to complain about, if I had to complain about anything, would be the turrets, and that there really should be absolutely no play in the turrets at all, whether or not you can fix it by making these tighter. At this price point, there really should be nothing like that at all. However, depending on your use case, it might not really be a big deal. So that's something that's going to be something for you to decide. In any case, that's going to do it for me for now. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Let me know what your thoughts are down below and come over to our Discord community to continue the conversation. Thank you so much to Discovery for helping us make this video possible, and to our wonderful VIP members that contribute directly to the community to help us keep going. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. And until next time, happy shooting.